Hey everyone, James Lambert here. You already know I went from knockouts to knowledge and from headlocks to hugs. I still embrace people, just now in a more positive way. So how you doing? Hope you're very, very well indeed. You joined me on this glorious, glorious day. Spring truly has arrived. Out on my walk, furry friend there, Mr. Max. Life is good, I'm feeling awesome and just positive as always. Just feel so lucky to be alive and so many opportunities, and it's good. So I hope you're doing well. So I just wanted to share this video, what's been on my mind. Last night, I've recently got into the series Game of Thrones, and I was actually watching one episode. I think it was episode 7 of 8 of season 5, and it was where, like, winter, for those of you that are familiar with it, winter's been going for best part of 5 seasons, and Jon Snow goes over to make a peace treaty with his former enemies to try and make an alliance against the White Walkers, and they finally invade this particular camp where Jon Snow was. And what happens, it's very much like sort of zombies. When they kill people, they're then like reanimated, as it were. They're brought back to life as the living dead, and then of course they fight for the dark side, or the White Walkers in this example. So anyway, what really struck home to me, and I thought there could be a lesson in this or a message for someone, is previously Jon Snow was fighting. He's like sort of the good guy in this story, if you like. There were people that stood by him, friends and associates, who fought side by side with him, that were then killed, and he had to watch them being killed in this fight at the end of this particular episode. Then they were reanimated, and as he's sailing off to safety, he could see them, former friends, by the shoreline, and he's not waving to them but just watching with great sadness in his heart how former associates and that have now had to be, out of necessity, left behind. Now the analogy I drew from that is that in my own life there have been former friends, certainly many associates, too numerous to name, that have had to have been left behind for my benefit and theirs. And there's no judgment, but life itself, we've simply outgrown each other. And as I say, there's no judgment. It's just like, you know, some people you meet for a season, a reason, or whatever else, a lifetime if you're lucky. So as I say, that sort of scene where these former friends were slain, and he had to literally say goodbye to them as the boat sailed away from the shoreline, it reminded me that there could be some instances and examples in your own life where you have to literally and metaphorically wave goodbye to former friends, former associates, dare I say even sometimes family members. For, you know, it's the ones that are closest to us and sometimes so-called love us the most that can really hold us back. And as I say, there's no judgment there. It is what it is. So just thinking about that analogy, as I say, I think it was Game of Thrones, definitely season 5, episode 7 or 8. And when these White Walkers came in and they killed their foes, and then Jon Snow had to wave goodbye to them, just got me thinking, so if there is a crumb of value there for yourself, in terms of you might have to say goodbye to some people in your life in order to crack on and get the best out of life. And you see, remember, you do a service to both yourself and others sometimes in letting go. People talk a lot about holding on and loyalty, and I'm all for that, but there is a time actually where it's in both parties' interests to move on For in truth, that's the only way you're going to grow. So as I say, I hope that's given you some food for thought. And if you are going through a difficult transition, as it were, leaving old friends and associates or an old life behind, I am here to support you. I know exactly what that feels like, having done it myself, and I wish you well. But more than that, know that it is possible, and on the other side of that metaphorical bridge, if you like, there is a better, safer, happier, less violent, less angry, less addicted life waiting for you. So I hope that does give you hope. So I'll leave it there. From my heart to yours, much, much love. You are unstoppable, and I believe in you. Take care.